Imagine walking through a quiet desert valley. When the sunlight hits the ground, just right hand, suddenly, the rocks at your feet begin to glow. Not because of magic, not because of special effects, but because nature, when left alone for millions of years, can sculpt things that look like they were designed by an artist from another planet. Today, you're about to see bizarre crystals and fabulous stones that look fake, impossible, even staged, but every single one of them is real. Some of these stones were hidden deep inside caves where humans had never stepped. Others were pulled from harsh deserts, frozen mountains, and forgotten riverbeds. By the end of this video, one crystal will completely change how you see the word rare. So make sure you stay with me, because the final stone is on a whole different level. Let's be real for a second. Most people think crystals are just shiny rocks you see in jewelry stores or souvenir shops. Pretty, sure, but not exactly money. That changes right now. Nature doesn't just make smooth, boring stones. Sometimes, it creates shapes so perfect they look carved by machines, colors so unreal they look photoshopped, and formations so massive they feel like something out of a sci-fi movie. Deep underground in Naica Mine, for example, there are crystals so gigantic that grown adults can walk inside them. Imagine standing in a cave where the walls aren't rock, but towering, glassy pillars that look like frozen lightning bolts. These selenite crystals grew slowly, drop by drop, over hundreds of thousands of years, in hot, mineral-rich water. When miners finally broke into this hidden chamber, it felt less like discovering a cave and more like uncovering a secret room built by the planet itself. Now picture a stone that changes color every time you move it. One moment it flashes electric blue, the next it burns gold, then suddenly it glows green like it's alive. That's labradorite, a stone that feels like it has trapped the northern lights inside it. Some of the most dramatic specimens come from Labrador, where the cold ground hides crystals that shimmer like liquid light when polished. What makes labradorite so bizarre is that its color isn't actually in the stone. The crystal structure bends light in such a strange way that your eyes see colors that technically aren't there. It's nature hacking your vision in the coolest way possible. And then there are crystals that look like they're growing out of thin air. In the volcanic regions of Erongo Mountains, mineral collectors find quartz clusters that seem to float on thin air, balanced on tiny points, shaped like icy castles. Some of these crystals grow in perfect geometric patterns, with tips so sharp they look like they were cut by lasers. The crazy part is that no human hand shaped them. Pressure, heat, time, and chemistry did all the work. Slowly, silently, in total darkness. When people finally uncover these stones, it feels like opening a time capsule from the inside of the earth. But bizarre doesn't always mean beautiful in a traditional way. Some crystals look downright creepy. There are stones that form in spiky, tangled shapes, like frozen sea urchins made of metal. Others grow in twisted clusters that look like bones, coral, or even tiny alien skeletons. These formations happen when minerals grow too fast, or when different elements fight for space inside the crystal. The result isn't smooth and pretty, it's wild, chaotic, and strangely hypnotic. You're not just looking at a rock. You're looking at a moment in geological time where the planet lost its balance for a split second and created something totally unique. Now let's talk about color, because this is where things get seriously unreal. There are crystals that are naturally neon pink, deep electric purple, blood red, and glowing green. Not dyed, not treated, real. Some of these colors happen because tiny traces of elements like chromium, iron, or manganese get trapped inside the crystal as it grows. Just a few atoms can change the entire look of a stone. That's how you end up with gemstones that look like candy, fire, or even glowing embers. And here's the wild part: two crystals that formed side by side can look completely different just because one picked up a trace element and the other didn't. It's like nature rolling dice and deciding the design on the spot. Then there are crystals that trap secrets inside them. Imagine looking into a clear stone and seeing tiny bubbles of ancient water, frozen in place for millions of years. Some crystals even contain microscopic plants or mineral ghosts from the environment they formed in. These inclusions turn crystals into time capsules. You're not just holding a stone, you're holding a snapshot of what the Earth looked like long before humans existed. Scientists study these inclusions to understand ancient climates, temperatures, and even what the air was like millions of years ago. So yeah, these pretty rocks are actually carrying serious scientific secrets. Some of the most fabulous stones don't come from deep caves or mines at all. They're found in rivers, deserts, and open landscapes, just waiting for someone curious enough to notice them. Picture walking along a dry riverbed and spotting a dull, dusty rock. You pick it up, rinse it in water, and suddenly it lights up with patterns and colors you never expected. That moment when a boring stone turns into something incredible is what hooks people for life. It's like finding treasure in plain sight, and that's why so many gem hunters keep going back into the wild, hoping that the next stone they pick up will be the one that changes everything. Now, here's something that might surprise you. Some of the most bizarre crystals aren't rare because they're hard to form. They're rare because they form perfectly and then get destroyed. Crystals grow under very specific conditions. The temperature, pressure, and chemistry have to stay stable for a long time. One small change, like an earthquake, a flood, or a shift in heat, and the crystal shatters or stops growing. That means every flawless, dramatic crystal you see is basically a survivor. It beat chaos. It made it through millions of years of geological drama without breaking apart. That alone makes these stones feel almost alive, like they earned the right to exist. Let's get a little weird for a moment. Some crystals look like they were designed with intention. You'll see perfect star shapes, spirals, and clusters that feel too organized to be random. Humans love patterns, so when we see these shapes in nature, our brains immediately think, this can't be real. But it is. Physics and chemistry, working together over insane amounts of time, can create designs that look smarter than anything we'd sketch on paper. It's humbling. We think we're the designers of the world, but the planet has been doing this kind of design work for billions of years. Here's where things get emotional. People who find these stones often describe a strange feeling when they hold them for the first time. Not magic, not superstition, just awe. The idea that something so beautiful, formed without intention, without eyes, without consciousness, hits differently. You realize you're touching a piece of deep time. This crystal existed before cities, before languages, before stories. It sat in darkness while civilizations rose and fell. And now, for a brief moment, it's in your hand. That feeling is powerful. It reminds you how small we are and how incredible the world still is, even in the age of satellites and screens. And now, for the stone I promised would change how you think about rare. Some crystals form in conditions so specific that, as far as we know, they've only ever appeared in one place on Earth. Not one region, not one country. One single spot. That means if that location is destroyed, flooded, or mined out, that crystal type might never form again. Ever. That's not just rare. That's fragile. It turns these stones into non-renewable works of natural art. Once they're gone, the planet might not repeat that exact experiment for millions of years, if it ever does at all. So the next time someone calls crystals just rocks, remember what you've seen here. Remember the caves filled with giant crystal pillars, the stones that glow with impossible colors, the twisted formations that look like alien sculptures, and the tiny inclusions that carry secrets from a world long gone. These aren't just stones. They're messages from deep time, written in light, color, and structure. If this blew your mind even a little bit, hit like so more people can discover how wild our planet really is. And if you want to see even rarer, stranger stones that almost nobody has ever heard of, make sure you're subscribed, because the next video goes even deeper into Earth's hidden gallery. The world is full of treasures hiding in plain sight, you just have to know where to look.